Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Bourbon Pour. I am Jordan.
And I'm Brian. And today we're going to be tasting Green River Rye.
Yep, this rye whiskey was released in 2024 and comes from the Green River Distillery in Owensboro, Kentucky.
So it comes in at a proof point of 95. And it is a 95.5 rye, which means that it has a mash bill of 95% rye and 5% malted barley.
It's an affordable price too. MSRP is $35. So we've heard a lot about this new release, so I'm pretty anxious to try it, Brian. First though, let's talk a little bit about the history of this distillery because it is a rich history.
Right. You know, like I say, it's a brand that kind of dates back in history. It was around, and like a lot of other of the bourbon or of the distilleries of the past, they shut down, and then they were brought back to life. And kind of in the modern boom that happened in the 80s and 90s and
so bourbon really declined in the 70s and 80s, 90s, and then started to pick back up. So that's kind of what we're talking about with that modern day boom. But Green River started in 1885. So with the DSP KY 10 distillery number. And by 1913, I thought this was super interesting, Brian. This whiskey was so good, and it was the most advertised whiskey in the world, that actually it became the U.S. Marines' official whiskey because of its high quality.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Who would have thought?
It is funny when you look back at the old brands, like even in beer, you got like a Hamm's. Hamm's was the number one beer in the nation.
Right. They move around, you know. It's really pretty cool.
But yeah, actually, as I said earlier, like I said, they did stop distribution. I was a little off on what I said earlier. I apologize, but they stopped distribution in 1955, and they just kind of abandoned it, and then they picked it back up.
In 2016. Production started again, and the first bourbon they took their time because the first bourbon was released in 2022. Be looking for a video. We're going to do the three offerings that they have. We don't have a single barrel right now, but so 2022 the bourbon came out. We did bourbon and single barrel offering released in 2023, and then this rye was early 2024. So and there are ties to the Green River Distillery to Seymour, where we are from. I believe a Seymour High School graduate is a distiller there, so Aaron Harris. So
very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, we're pretty proud of that.
So I'm definitely ready to get into this. This bottle actually was purchased by Jordan, so I appreciate him sharing his whiskey. So we're gonna see what we got here.
Yeah.
I've heard really good things about this.
People have really raved about it, and really that 95.5 rye is kind of an Indiana style rye is what I've found. But gosh, I'm really excited about this because I've had the wheated and the regular bourbon. I think both of those are fantastic, particularly the wheated. So I'm really interested in the rye because I like rye whiskey.
Right.
Oh, it's got a pretty good nose.
Definitely the rye. Hit you with the rye right on the nose. If you don't go too deep on it, you'll definitely be burning the nose hairs.
Rye spices.
But it's not overly hot, obviously.
Yeah,
that
95 proof comes through. That it's pretty delicate for a rye. A little bit of like a caramel corn kind of smell. Hot caramel. I don't know.
I'm trying to pick up any oak on it. I don't get a whole lot of.
Yeah, not a lot of oak.
Not a lot of that presence. But
if it is, it's very light and it's a touch sweet.
Right. It smells like I'm really gonna like this one.
and a lot of I don't know if there's a fruit note there. Let's go for a sip.
So I get a vanilla. The rye doesn't come through as much as you think it would on the nose. The nose, I thought that was just going to kind of dominate the whole taste, but that's a good experience.
This is excellent. That is excellent
for $35. That might be one of the best ryes on the market.
That's better than some $55 rye.
Easily.
The palate, though. What are some notes for you?
Like I said, the vanilla and the. Man, I just go back in there.
Yeah. There is such a good balanced rye.
It coats the mouth. It goes completely through. Honestly, to say I'm not picking up a lot of different elements, but everything I'm tasting is blending together. And sometimes with rye, I don't know why it is, but I just get a mouth explosion, and, and it just takes over, and I don't get any one element out, but it tastes so good.
Yeah, there are bourbon-friendly ryes, and then there are just straight-up ryes. This is a straight-up rye, and this, I think, bourbon, people who are into bourbon would love this because there's a sweetness behind it that the rye does come up front, and it is it's kind of a heavy, it's there, but it's backed up. There's this backbone to it that's sweet. There's a little bit of caramel with it. There's the fruity floralness from the rye.
I'm getting a floral note on the nose. How'd you say that?
Yeah, kind of a, if I had to describe it, kind of like a lilac kind of thing, maybe. I struggle with identifying exact floral notes.
I taste that now that I'm after I smelt it,
and that that is, I'm impressed.
Yeah, that's solid. And for $35, you can't go wrong with that.
Now, we were talking before we started filming. Boy, this would make a great old fashioned. I don't know if I would mix this.
Oh, there's no need to mix it.
No.
But you can. At $35, you can mix it.
You can, and I bet it would be probably one of the better old fashions.
And that's getting on the higher end of what I would use as a mixer.
Right. But still, if you wanted a high quality old fashioned, you had a bunch of guests coming over that you kind of wanted to impress with your mixology, I think that would be excellent. Or if you have a rye whiskey lover, bring that to their house because this is incredible. I mean, really well done.
The stuff they're putting out is just amazing. Like they're just knocking it out of the park. Like I said, their bourbon that they did last year and the wheated were phenomenal. Yeah. This is right up there. Like I said, they are for the mid-range $35 range. I don't know if you can beat them.
No, I don't think that's something that anybody can challenge in that price range because that's fantastic. I see why. We've read and we've seen other reviews from other channels that this was such a really good rye whiskey, and they're right because this is fantastic. I think actually, and I love the Green River wheated bourbon. We've drank that together a couple different times, and out of the three that I've had from Green River, this is my favorite. How about you?
I would have to say that's taking another one honors there.
Yeah. So I don't think there's any question. This is something that we would recommend. Go out definitely. And buy this. Find it. This was $35. If it's $40, buy it at $40. The ceiling on it, I suppose, since I do know it's a $35 bourbon, is probably $45 if I couldn't find it really easily. Or if you're traveling, a lot of times with us, when we're traveling, we'll find liquor stores and we'll buy stuff that we can't buy at home. So if you're having trouble finding Green River in your area and you're traveling, pick this up. I mean, just go find it. It's so good.
Yeah. If you've had anything, if you've had it, make a comment and let us know what you think of it.
Yeah.
If you've had other ryes out there that are comparable, comment and let us know.
Right. Or ones in that price range that you'd recommend. Please let us know because I would like to find other ones that taste like this.
It's going to be hard to find.
It's going to be hard.
They might be out there.
Right. With that, though, we end each episode the same way, and that is when you're with your family and your friends, always share your whiskey.